What's up with this internet shit? Scrabble TV.
You're looking at all of them at once at times. There's no focus on one. So there's a lot of freedom to really, really play. And it was very, very, talk about freedom. I felt very freed by all that, ironically, for a prison project. This is death row. You don't want to be here. While the prisoners in Eastern State were all in solitary confinement, it was significantly more humane than incarceration prior to this prison. It is architecturally hugely significant, as it is the first wagon wheel prison design. It is enormously imitated. And it is now a ruin, and they have a fantastic artist residency program, which this show is part of. The name of the whole exhibition is The Battle of Carnival in Lent. It's actually an installation in 4 parts. Part 1 is in Cellblock 8. So the 10 windows in this section of the prison are called confines, because they are some fine-looking cons. I just started imagining what it would be like to be a prisoner in one of these cells. And my first thought was that birds and the weather would be just about the most important thing. The light coming in from the skylights would be highly metaphorical, which is pretty much how a church window works. So the Abbot Suger said that stained glass was enlightenment embodied. So I wanted to work with the idea of birds and the weather to make images, but I really enjoy working figuratively, so I wanted to work with figures. They're about 40 inches high and 4 inches wide, and it's really hard to put a figure in that strange shaped space. That's why this is really called confines, is because the figures are squished into these strange rectangular shapes. Andromeda was always an excuse in the 1900s to make sort of softcore porn. This is Andromeda here. I thought it was time to rehabilitate her image. This is Prometheus. Prometheus suffered the fate of having his liver pecked out every day. All this because he stole fire from the gods and brought it to humanity. I'd like to point out this is a southern exposed window, so it gets blazing sunlight at certain hours of the day. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is the meta window. I call it Mary Magdalene, but I named it that after I finished it. Mary Magdalene is on a bed in a cell in Eastern State with the window above her. And there is actually a bed in this cell. One thing that's so cool about this window, besides the fact that she's on a bed, is the funnel shape of the architecture. Has this blue paint underneath. The chipping paint is beautiful, and the vault has all those spots on it from the paint being removed. It's a really beautiful space. This is Atlas, with the weight of the world on his back, or a dead body that he is disposing of. I have a thing for images of people carrying burdens. I have a whole file of them. These are the 3 windows based on Icarus. Icarus was punished for his hubris in imagining that he could fly to the sun with wax wings. So he represents the prisoner who's been unjustly convicted. What a horrible, nasty thing that is, to be punished for dreaming. The glass itself has a very thin veneer and very bright color on it. And in fact, if the glass was just pure color, it would be so dense it would just look like blackness. So it's a very thin veneer, very bright color, and you can put contact paper stencils on it and sandblast the color off or engrave it off. Like this one is actually a really good example of that. It's a piece of red unclear glass and a piece of blue unclear glass on top of each other. And so the red unclear is those two layers, and the blue unclear is two layers.
And this is at a beginner's level to teach this?
Yeah, because it's actually easy. I know it sounds complicated, but it's once you get your hands on the stuff, it all becomes suddenly obvious. It's a star, it's graffiti from a prisoner. Stained glass makes colored shadows. How cool is that?
I call it the Battle of Carnival and Lent. It's based on the Bruegel painting of the same name. They used to reenact Carnival and Lent in the town square before Lent, a battle with, people in funny outfits. It was perfect for the penitentiary because it's about the angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, impulse control issue that anyone in prison, psychic or real, or just imagined, would have lost the battle for impulse control on some level or another. Carnival are the clowns, and Lent are the monks, or either the blue bird head monks or the monks that have red headscarves and ram horns. And it's sort of a play battle. There's not a lot of blood being spilled in it, although there are some dead people.